episode number 144 of Pro No Coders Office Hours. Last night, I said we were going to come back for episode number 143 and forgot Pablo did his Friday morning office hours this morning, which was episode number 143. For those of you in Europe or who would be served better by an 11 a.m. CET time for office hours, please know that those happen on Mondays and Fridays with Pablo. We're going to get started in a moment here, but if this is your first time tuning in to Pro No Coders Office Hours, welcome, first of all. And what it is we invite our members at Pro No Coders to join us on Zooms that we broadcast live, and then they can ask us any bubble question they want, and we will try to get it answered. And if we can't answer it live on the call, a lot of times we come back, we circle back, and we work on it over and over until we get it right. So we're here with our members, let's see, Thomas and Jay and Jordan and Adam today, and my partner Justin is here with us. So we're going to get started. And Thomas, you were here first. Do you have any questions for today?
I don't, just tuning in.
You don't? Okay. Jay, how about you?
Same question. I'm having a little issue trying to understand this data I'm getting, if I can share.
You can totally kick me off of sharing.
I just did it. It feels so good.
Right?
It's so good to have the power. Okay, can you guys see it?
Yes.
So over here in this column, I'm getting the transcript text and the status together in one. It's saving together. And I don't understand why, because this is what the workflow looks like. There it is. Transcription, the results of the body, and then the result of the error body. This isn't saving at all. So what I did was I took a sandbox and I started from scratch in a clean environment, and I did the whole thing again, and I got a completely different error. Like, it just was so frustrating.
Okay. So you're trying to grab the error body or the status, the transcription. So you're getting the JSON right here, the transcript text, and you just want the transcript text.
In this, yeah. I mean, I'd like to, I don't really know that I need the status, but I mean, it's working. So the API is connecting to AWS and saying, hey, what's the status?
Mm-hmm.
And, and it's getting that back, because otherwise it wouldn't process. I wouldn't have any of this.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So that's right. So I guess it's just the way the JSON body is formatted.
Yeah. So how are we getting that again? Let's go into the plugin API connector, transcription.
It's this one. Hold on. There you go.
Okay. Can you go ahead and reinitialize the call?
I'm so afraid to do that. I do not trust this API at all. Okay, so there, I mean, it is exactly, this is what I'm seeing. I am getting this. I just don't understand why.
So change it from text. I can't remember if there's another one for JSON, or you can split it up into things. I don't think there is. Let me just, okay. Go ahead and get out of there for a second. Hit cancel. Can you do capture response headers for a second? Check box right there. Go ahead and initialize again. All right. So do we get any extra information from the headers? I don't think we do.
You want to see the raw?
No, that's okay. So there, I know there's one way of doing it. We can grab the regex, but it's kind of complicated.
Yeah.
To do that way. So I'm just gonna do a very quick search on the forum here to see if there's a way to grab that out of the box. Grab JSON.
I followed this tutorial like exactly step by step many times. Like, I've done this like, I don't know how many times by now, probably 7. And I don't understand why I'm getting different results than the tutorial when I went over it and over it with a fine-tooth comb.
So in the tutorial, usually it's like a one check one check
Yeah,
thing.
one little tiny thing I'm missing, probably.
Yeah, it's usually one small thing like that. You're saying they were using Bubble, and in Bubble that was converting that directly into the, it was the JSON was
Yes.
splitting correctly.
Yes.
Do you have that video clip, that specific video clip?
Yes.
It might be fastest for us to jump in there.
Oh,
So
it won't.
it won't. It
No,
won't
it's
be.
a 90-minute tutorial.
Okay.
And I don't know exactly where it was. I mean, I don't even know where to begin looking. You know what I mean? Like, where do you check? How do you start to troubleshoot that?
So let's. We can probably narrow it down to where the API call is being set up.
Okay.
So if you go in the office hours, or sorry, not in the office hours, in here, it looks like this one. Oh, they're multiple. This is 1 hour and 31 minutes. Hey.
Yep.
So can you scrub through the video here for a second? So we've got build backend in AWS. That's definitely not it. It's where you're doing it in Bubble. Okay, so you can pause that. Oh, you got to
You want me to find where the get starts? Yes.
Yeah. Hit play on that again.
Yeah, my computer's not responding. Well, this browser's
wonderful.
not responding.
So you're clicking play, but nothing's happening.
I don't even have the controls.
Just refresh the page here. All right. This is where we need the sound effects.
So is this, let's see, where's the transcript get? Okay, so you want to see, do you want to see what he did with Bubble or with that, or with AWS?
Bubble. Yeah. So when he's setting up the connection here, can you, yeah. Okay. Yeah, here we go. So we got the transcription job, and then where does he initialize it? Looks like he's already initialized, or he's going to reinitialize it again.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's scrub through. Are you watching it in real time? You can press the right arrow key to move 5 seconds in the future.
Okay.
The right and left arrow key to go back and forth. So let's just scrub through real quick. He should reinitialize this call pretty quick. Okay, so it's definitely after that. All right, transcript text and status. Okay, so hit cancel. Sorry, not hit cancel. You're not in Bubble. Go back, I mean. Sorry. Oh, where'd the video go?
Oh, you want the video? Okay. Sorry, I got so many windows. It's a little out of control.
We got a couple here, yeah, for sure.
And I'm
okay, so we're
gonna open. Oh, that's not it.
Yeah, that's a different video. That's a really good thumbnail, though.
We love you, Callum.
I'm having this problem. My browsers disappear. I have to figure out what that is. So sorry. Where'd it go? Here it is. Okay, back to the video.
Okay, so yeah, on that video, there should be, so he has a different one. He has the test get transcript. He has a different parameter, right?
Yeah.
And his body type is JSON. So what's your body type? Can you go to your Bubble app?
Yes.
It should be JSON, but I'm just comparing here because you have a different setup than he does.
Yes. I don't have access to the JSON body. Didn't we talk about this? I think we did. And the idea was that because it's a get, not a post. Isn't that what we talked about a couple days ago?
Unlikely that's the case.
Okay.
But he is also doing a get in that call.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't have it. We'll look at it. I'm sorry, I had to reopen it because God knows where it is.
All good. No worries. We'll love the plugins here. Okay, so API connector. You've got quite the computer if you can open all these tabs without that much of an issue. Get transcription job. So let's compare the URL first and foremost.
Say it again.
Let's compare the URL that you have compared to what he has. So
Okay.
he has get transcription, and
Mhm.
I think his was, oh, yeah. Okay. Do you see where it says name, get transcription job, and then it says use as action, and then use a data type is JSON?
Yes.
Can you go back for a second? Yeah. Can you change your data type to JSON?
Yeah, I tried it, but I mean, I'm going to try it again. I'm not telling you you're wrong. I'm just saying that this isn't, and that looks right. What is wrong with me? Am I a lunatic? Because that looks right.
Yeah, yeah. Now you can remove the error. So you can remove the headers rather. So go ahead, save, and then remove the headers. So capture response headers. That's the last checkbox. Yeah.
Okay,
And then
curious.
reinitialize.
What is that?
It's just more information about the call that's sent back and forth.
So
Okay.
body transcript text, body status, this looks like exactly what I was looking for.
Mhm.
Okay, all right. So I'll just fix that in the workflow and I should be all set.
Yeah, that should
Fantastic.
set it up. Mhm.
All right, thank you so much. I do appreciate it. When you guys, if you come back to me, I have a JavaScript question.
Okay, sounds good. No
Sounds good.
problem. Thanks,
Thank
Jay.
you, thank you, thank you.
Awesome. Adam, it's your turn. Adam, what's up?
Hi, so I am trying to do something that's a little bit, not exactly like, it's not too difficult, but I'm just going to say what it is. And essentially, I'm trying to basically have two people be able to collaborate on something that already exists in the database. And the way that I'm thinking of doing it is what it is like a job appeal, right? So someone can kind of like collaborate with you and write like what your actual job description is. You can kind of like go back and forth, like what do you really want to like say, and then like it gets approved at the end. So what I'm thinking is have the original job like listing there, also have another like create a new, this is more of a database structure thing.
Mhm, mhm.
And then create a new listing, but that listing doesn't replace the old one. It is just there as a draft. So every time you edit it together, you're editing the same draft.
Mm.
And then once it's approved upon by both of you, then you basically both click approve, and then it ends up taking the place. So like I don't update that one anymore. I just take whatever is in that draft and then make the changes to the original. Does that make sense?
Okay, so you want to have two people working on, let's say, the same text field, right?
Yeah.
So you want both of them working at the exact same time, and one person's editing one section and another person's editing another section, and
Does
then
not need to be the exact same time. It'd be cool if it were like the type of thing for that like Google Docs does, but that's really not my, I know that's complicated. So if that's like another crazy step, then like one at a time is fine. Click save, and then like the other person sees it, you know?
Mhm. Yeah, and so you want that updated, like as soon as it's saved, you want that updated.
Yeah.
So
and the draft updated, not the original until both approve.
Oh, okay. So you just need a field, basically on your database. You need a field for like the finalized version and a field for like the draft version.
Okay.
And so Bubble works so that if one person makes a change to a text field, the other person will see that change reflected immediately as soon as it's changed. It sends a trigger on the back end and all this crazy complicated stuff. So that should work. Like out of the box.
Really? So technically they would already be able to see it reflected before the user have to click save?
If you have auto binding on, they do have to click save. So you could turn on auto binding, and then if one person's making changes, they will see the changes reflected live.
Whoa. Okay. So I mean, I'm using ZQ input. Also, that's another question. Do you guys think that ZQ input is the best? It's basically the zero code light rich text editor input. The reason I like it is because you have like the ability to tag users, you have hashtags, like all this stuff, right?
Oh, right. I think that was bought by Zero Code. I don't think they designed it from scratch. I think they bought it because it was such a good one. And the one by Bubble is not very robust, and they know that. There's a lot of bugs with it. I do recommend the BDK. Has a very, very good rich text editor as well. Also has those features. I don't know if it has all of them, and I don't know if they bought the one from BDK, but let me
Yeah,
look
I got
that up
that
right
one.
now.
I got the BDK one. It works pretty well.
Yeah, yeah, and I think it also has the ability to like at people and things like that.
Okay, great. Is this might sound dumb. Is BDK like an acronym, or is it just the name of the company? Because sometimes people use acronyms, and I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Oh,
No,
it's the name of the
that's-
company. Yeah,
Yeah.
Find, develop, kill.
yeah, it's Bubble Development Kit. Yeah. But BDK text input, I think it's $16.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll
All
just-
of
I'll look
his,
into that.
all of his plugins, I think, are 16 like one time.
Yeah.
Or $4 per month, something like
Uh,
that.
let me drop in here. Where is his? He has a lot of ones now. Oh, he has a new one.
Zero Code also has this thing where you can like then do the rich text stuff, and honestly, I don't want to give users that ability. Like that's not necessary. And then when you uncheck everything, like I don't need them to have XYZ, which is like honestly 20 things. Then there's this weird gray box above it that's empty, but it's still hovering, even though there's nothing in it. It's not aesthetically pleasing.
I see. Yeah. I would recommend. So this is the one of the plugins. He only has a couple that are like this, but there is no $16 option. It's $4 a month, which is a big minus because that's a lot of money over a long period of time. Though he is very he's very active, and you can reach out if there's a bug or something, or you need something. You can for the most part just reach out to him. He's very available. I actually have his contact, so if you need me to let him know something, you can't get through to him. But it does support @mentions, hashtags, image drag and drop, image resizing, pasting images from the clipboard, air mode, read only mode, emojis, rich content, and email compatible HTML formatted content. And it's built for performance. It's pretty good. I would recommend this one.
Why are the ratings like kind of mediocre?
People don't know how to use it a lot of the time. That's what happens when you have 600 installs, and it's like text editing is such a huge thing. Now there are a few bugs with it. I know that if you are trying to resize an image within it, it does glitch, and that's not just for like this plugin. That's for all of the text editor plugins on Bubble. If you want something that works a little bit better, you might have to have a custom built plugin. You might have to go to someone who will build that custom. There's quite a few people on the forums that do a fairly good job of that. But before you do that, definitely try to give this one a try. See if it does what you want it to do. You can see his documentation is pretty robust.
Sorry.
All good. And it also works with, because he's like the #1 provider for web wrapping your app into iPhone and Android. And so his plugins all work alongside that. So if I go into text editor, you can see his documentation. He has videos for how to set it up and what the features are and everything like that. You can see it in action. Yeah, you can see it's pretty robust like that. Now, if you don't want them to have access to like changing the font and things like that, I'm not sure if you can just like turn that one thing off. So if that's something that you want, you may be able to reach out to him and ask him.
You can turn those features off. You can select pretty much everything you want.
Oh, you can turn off like the font changing?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Jordan.
Wait, Jordan, so what is your experience with it? Because these reviews are, one thing, but I'm also curious about your personal experience.
I've found it pretty good. I can show you it if you want.
Sure.
Sounds good. I'll stop sharing.
Okay, so see page.
I'm going to see if Restream has any music effects we can add here while we're waiting.
Jordan. Not Jordan, Justin. I'm getting my G's mixed up. Justin with the music.
Yes.
Okay, so I've got it in these templates here. So basically, this is it here, and I've got it on air mode so that you can just pop up and you can change whatever you want, and you can add in bullet points, you can underline stuff, you can add in links. This is a link here actually. So if I go back out of it, that's a link to another page. What specific features were you looking for?
I kind of wanted to see the that functionality, like the tagging people and the hashtags.
Oh yeah. Okay, so when you open it, you've got, I haven't actually used the tagging functionalities, but down here, you can enable emojis, enable mentions. So you would go, who do you want to mention? Do a search for users. And then what do you want to display? So you can choose which
Just the name is fine, like just something simple to get it.
cool. And then you can have a link, and same with enable hashtag. Cool. Okay, so hang on. There is a weird setting. I think you've got to come in the back here and turn it on actually.
And did you do that on the style, or what was that?
On the style, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's only when you have a style selected that you have to go into there.
Well, yeah. If I unselect the style, it wasn't showing that.
Do you have the user set up for that? Mentioned source list. You're doing first last.
Yeah.
And you're showing it on the bottom. Bottom. Oh, you didn't enable app mentions there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Do I enable hashtag? So there's the thing, and then the hashtag. you can change the font up here. And I think you can go up here and you can change all these fields. So if you don't want the font to show, you just select no. And you come back here and then that should be gone.
Nice.
So yeah, so you can customize pretty much everything. One thing I couldn't do was there was some issue with the border, changing the color of the border. So I think my solution was to get rid of this this toolbar and put it onto ear mode, because the ear mode you can hide this toolbar, and when
Yeah, I
you want,
probably want to hide the toolbar for my use case. That's great to know.
you do want to or you don't?
I do.
Yeah.
I probably just wouldn't want it at all, really.
Yeah, yeah. So you just highlight the text and then it brings it up.
Okay.
So,
And you can also set up triggers for when you add someone that it'll notify them and things like that.
yeah, I've never done it, but I assume you can.
And okay, so to take it one step further, this is probably gonna go back to Justin. I really appreciate it, Jordan. Thank you.
Thanks, Jordan.
So in this case scenario, we're talking about users and we're making the mentions list a list of users. What happens when you want to mention users, companies, like different types of entities?
You can mention, if you want to do multiple kinds, you'd probably use the field text, and then you'd merge different text fields together. But even in that case, like you want to be able to, I'm assuming you want to be able to add or mention
Basically,
companies
the
and
name.
users.
Yeah, like the most important thing is just the user's name, the company's name, and those are both text fields. But I do know that it's a little hard to get into, multiple layers and different data types and put them all into one.
That's a great question. I think it would require some careful database planning, but you can absolutely figure out a way to do that. So if I drop this on the page, and if I needed to do multiple types, I'd probably have to create a database type called like mention or something like that, where I have a list and it's tied to a user so that I can notify that user. And so you'd have a new kind, and then you'd have your list, and then the display field is what would show up or what you could search for. And so, yeah, you just need careful database planning. You'd need another database type specifically for mentions is what I would do.
These plugins typically don't go to 2 layers deep, if you know what I mean. Like if you had a mentions database type and then you had user and company, if the actual text isn't on that database type, but it's within those other ones, can you access it?
No, so you would put that directly on it. You'd say you would have one called mentions, and then you'd have one that's display, the thing that you're searching for. And that could be a company name, or it could be a username, like the name of a person. And then you would have your sources list would just be the list of mentions. And then so when something happens, like when you are adding that person and when you're mentioning them, you would have a trigger. So there's a trigger for that. For BDK.
So when someone signs up, essentially that's when I would do this, create a new mention, and the related user is this user, create a new mention, the related company is this company, right?
Exactly. So the company or the user, if the user is empty, I think it would only need to be user, because a user is the owner of a company, right? You want to notify the owner of the company, or would you want to notify every user within the company?
No, just the owner.
Okay, so user is probably good enough for you as having another data type on that mention field.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, no worries.
Thank you.
Yeah, all good. All right, I guess that brings you to Jordan. Jordan, you have a question?
Yeah, I do. I just wanted to kind of get around. I know, like when in Canvas, when you add in the repeating groups, there's like a reusable element that you can filter stuff on. I've just never kind of looked at it, and I wanted to see how that works.
Okay, okay, awesome. So is there a particular place where you would want to use that in your app that we can kind of go over?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. You can go ahead and share your screen.
Cool. So I've just got like all my like leads in here, and I wanted to create a filter to filter all the data.
Okay.
So I wasn't really too sure where to start or what to do. But,
so if you click filter, what happens right now?
Well, that's not actually a filter. That's just a
okay.
drop down sort box. But there is one that comes with Canvas, I think.
Yes. Yeah. So that is you're going to have to set the state, and I can show you how to set the state of one. So let's go onto that page, and then we can add it.
Go open this.
Well, it depends. That's just the template. You want to make a custom one. So where is that page that you want to filter?
Yeah, I'm on it. Yeah.
Or you're on it? Okay.
Yeah.
So where's that the filter drop down right now? So let's drop it in the right spot.
Okay, so
awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do is you're actually going to create a copy of that filters template.
Yeah.
So you're going to delete that one. We're going to delete that element, and then you're going to go to pages. Yeah. And then you're going to scroll all the way down, and you're going to add a new reusable element. And you're going to base it off of that template, filters template. Awesome. So what are some of the things you might want to filter by? Oh, you're in it right now. You want to stay in here where you are. Yeah, stay in here. So you can, so go ahead, open up the group focus on the filters. And then you can start customizing what you want to be changed.
Advisor. Probably stage. Maybe date. Date. Stage. Yeah, that's probably it for now. I can add some more in later.
Okay, sounds good. So you probably want to hide the rest, or well, you can do that on your own after. So let's do search by keyword first, I guess would be the easiest one. So they're going to type in a text field here, right? And that's going to change, I guess it depends on what you're searching for when you search for an application. Would you be searching for a user, like a word within the application?
Probably just the name of the application, I'd say.
Okay, the name. So if you click on the update button and then go start edit workflow, let's jump into there. So you're setting the state dropdown of filter applications. And this is where you set the states of the filter. And then you refer to those states within the actual dropdown. So you can see that it's already set up to do input filters keywords value, which is what you're looking for. So you have that custom state keyword. And you can start setting up the other states. So we have one for dropdown. You would probably want to name what that state is.
Which one was dropdown?
So that's a state on the actual filter reusable.
Yeah.
So if you click on the gray part on the outside, and then
So just drop down advisor.
Yeah, sure. And then you have another one that's lone one. Yeah, perfect.
Sweet.
Okay, awesome. So yeah, once you set all of those up, what you're going to be doing is setting that state, and then from the outside on that page, you're going to be referring to that state within the data source on the repeating group.
Okay, yep. So go back to here.
Yep. And then you can set those states.
Okay, sweet. Shall I make another one?
Yep.
Sweet. Oh,
Is the lone writer not a user?
okay, sweet.
Okay, awesome. So you have all those states, awesome. And then you need to set up the clear button. So the clear button will remove those.
Where's that?
So the design, go to design again, and then the clear button is on the left side. Yep. And then start edit workflow. And then you just reset them all to nothing.
Sweet.
That's for separate things. And then, yep. And then go back to the page where that's going to be displayed on. This is one thing that I like to do, but I like to put emojis in the names of my elements so that I can find them faster later.
How do you search for them?
Yeah, you can search for them too.
Oh, yeah. All right, here it is. So that one needs to go.
Yep. Drop in the new one.
Yep.
Yeah, we can leave it there for now, and then you change the spot later. I am noticing that it's not showing a button. I wonder if that may have been deleted. Can you edit that element? Oh, before we do that, actually, let's set up the workflows or the data source on the repeating group so they refer to the states of that element. So if you go to your data source for your repeating group underneath, and then, yep. And then you're going to do the change that data source.
This one?
Yep. So you can just include, add a new constraint. And then you're going to refer to, let's say, lone writer was one of them, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Lone writer is equal to the filter applications A's lone writer.
Oh, yeah.
And then make sure to click ignore empty constraints at the very bottom of that little pop-up. And that way, if the filter is empty, it will still show stuff.
Ah. Okay. Filter.
And then you had name, right? Keyword.
So what would I do there? Probably profile. Would profile be all right, or do I need profile's name?
Probably profile's name, which means you would probably need a filter on that after in order to access profile's name, or you just put the profile's name on the application as a text field. Filtering always takes longer. If you're going to have 1,000 applications in here and you do an advanced filter, it will significantly slow down your app.
Does it? So say if I've got 1,000 in the database, but like there's only 100 that are active, and I'm only displaying the active ones, will it still slow it down or no?
No, I mean less so, because what an advanced filter does is it also depends on this list. Is this repeating group list? Is this full list, or is this extended repeating group? Like as you scroll down, it loads more. What kind of repeating group is it?
It's a full list.
It's a full list, so an advanced filter will not have any effect on that.
Is a full list the best one to have it?
I mean, it depends. I only use full list when I can guarantee there's going to be less than 15, because anything more than that, it's going to significantly drop your load times.
There is going to be more than 15 here.
So if there's more than 15, I would recommend doing a extended vertical scrolling, so that it's like Facebook. As you scroll down, it'll just keep adding more. Or you can do a paginated approach where you just do pages. Yeah.
Okay. So now do I need to put a button on this, did you say?
Yes. Yeah. We got to make sure that button's in there. I don't see anything showing. So just
why do you need a button?
Something to open the focus, the group focus, right? And something to show the filter button. So just edit element, and then we'll see if there's something already set up in there.
In here.
Yeah. Group responsive filter elements. I see button close focus group. I don't see anything that's visible though. I don't see the actual like drop down that you would select. So maybe jump into the workflow for a second and just see if there's a button that opens it up. So when clear is clicked, when close is clicked, deselect, select all, update filters, filter application. I don't see anything. Yeah, I don't see anything there.
Put a button in there.
You can put a button or a drop down or something, a group. Yeah, something to trigger it.
What a drop? Can we do a drop down?
And not an actual drop down, something that looks like a drop down, but it's actually a group and some icons.
Okay. So for now, I'll just do a button there.
Yeah, just throw a button on there, and then you can use the canvas style. I think what happened is somehow that got deleted because there should have been one in there. Unless Tonya, do you know if there is a?
I would assume something got deleted.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I know that it was recently changed. I just don't know if there's like custom HTML.
Yeah, but not on this version of Canvas.
Is the older
this
one.
app is older. Yeah.
Yeah.
I say it's older, like it's like, some sort of classic thing. It's like maybe 6 months old.
Right.
So I just need to trigger the.
Yeah. You can do, actually, you can just do a custom event. And you can do trigger a custom event. And then show group focus. There's already one set up. Yeah. That's all it does. It's a custom event that does the same thing as what it says. Oh, okay. Yeah. So there is something there, Tonya. So I think what they did is they set up like a custom HTML block that only shows like outside of the editor. So we can remove your button, actually. There's no need to put that in. They recently changed that, actually. I think that was like 3 or 4 months ago that they changed that.
Do I need a trigger? Or?
Oh, instead of the funnel icon, you mean?
Yeah, instead of the funnel
Using
icon,
the
now they have
drop down.
Yeah. I don't know how they're triggering that because I don't see an element in there that shows that. Yeah. Now, if you click it, it opens it up. You can search for keyword or search for advisor and see if it works. You have to hit update.
Doesn't do anything now.
You did set up the data source on a conditional. Is that conditional active? So hit inspect. Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. So that needs to be set up on the
main one as well. Yeah.
good spotting.
Awesome. So hopefully that helps out. Do you think you have it from here? Do you think there's more? Yeah. Okay, sweet. If you have any more questions on that, just let me know.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so back to, Thomas is here. Thomas.
Oh yeah, man. I was just tuning in.
Just tuning in. Hey, awesome. Nice to see you or hear you, I guess. Jay, you have a JavaScript question, correct?
I do. Let me pull up the right screens. Okay, so when I initialize, this is the get transcription in the sandbox app I was using. This I'm just asking to try to understand better. I don't have this is a learning thing. So whatever you know, you know. So this is the error. So I was pretty happy that I understood where this meant to send me. Line 12 in the Lambda handler. So that's over here. This is the script in the function. So here's the function get. Here's the line. The issue is that I have this exact same script in the one that's working that we worked on a minute ago, which by the way, looks beautiful now. Thank you. So I don't understand where to troubleshoot with this because it's just a variable. Why should this not work here and actually work in another function?
What's the error message?
It's right here. And when I look in the error message on AWS, it's the identical message. So I'm getting the right message.
Okay, so file var task lambda function dot py, line 12 in lambda handler, job name event query string parameters. It doesn't tell you what the error is. It says key error. Okay, so key error, query string parameters. So hit cancel for a second. So it says query string. So you have what is this get coming from? This get job, is this I'm confused. Is this different from the other thing that you had before?
Yeah, this is just a test one I made in a sandbox. This is just the same thing I replicated to try to mess around with it without destroying what I already did. So this is the same exact thing, but another instance of it.
Okay, so the URL is different though.
Yes, which you need, that's the API's URL, so that is right. That comes from the API. This is that.
Okay, and then can you put them next side by side? Yeah, the one that's working and the one it isn't for in the bubble in
yes.
Yeah, the API. So a quick shortcut is if you press the Windows key and press the right arrow. So
yes.
The Windows key on your keyboard, the one in between Control and Alt. If you press that, hold that down and press the right arrow on your keyboard, it'll push it to the right. And then you do the same thing with the left arrow on the other one. So select your other window.
Oh God.
Yeah.
It's
and then
gone.
click. It's first one. There we go.
I have no idea. Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have a horizontal scroll
No.
on your mouse? Okay, just use your arrow keys. So click on the page and then use your arrow keys to move to the right. Sorry, click on the left window there. Yeah, click there and then use your right arrow key to move over.
It's not happening.
Nothing's happened for you?
You
Okay.
look at this though, right?
Yeah, I can see that. Okay. All right. So you've got a JSON. There's different parameters. Why are there different parameters? That's my first question.
Oh, yeah, so I wanted access to this. I thought I needed it, but I don't need it. I was trying to solve that problem that you solved for me with the.
So if you delete that on the one that's working, what happens when you reinitialize?
And I live in terror for a moment. And then we see what happens. Okay, that looks good.
Okay, so it works without it. Okay,
Yep.
So let's yeah, put that back on the side again. Right arrow, Windows key.
Doesn't work. Oh, sorry.
Oh, all good.
Right there. Oh. Well, I'm just going to do it the old-fashioned way because I don't extra time too much.
Okay, can you scroll up on both to look at the header? Yeah, oh, okay. So there's no shared parameters, there's no shared header, there's no authentication on that one. Same on this. Okay, so they're the same.
Yeah.
So the problem has to do with your when you copied it over. So go ahead into, yeah, go into there. Can you put the one that's working and the one that isn't working side by side? And this is just useful in general whenever you're trying to figure out what's the difference.
So this is the busted one.
Okay, and then Windows left.
Windows left. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And then, yeah, click the top window. There we go. Perfect. All right, so you've got two different functions. And I'm assuming that you're setting up the, there's like a URL that's setting something up and it's happening on line 12. So job name, query string parameters. Okay. So Boto 3 is an import, client transcribe. Okay, click on the left one on line 12. And then use your arrow keys to move over to the right. Okay. Yeah, sorry, go back.
Too far.
Yeah, do the same thing on the other side. There's got to be a way to like collapse that left menu there. Yeah, maybe if you, yeah, so we've got query string parameters and we've got job name. So the one on the left is causing issues, or the one on the one on the left?
This one is the trouble. The left.
Okay. So you're getting job name, job underscore name. Can you go back to bubble for a second? Yeah, right there. Job underscore name. Is there a space in that parameter? Can you click on job name where there's job name? Okay, there's no space in there. And the value, is the value set up correctly? Can you?
Oh, cat. I tried I tried a number of different ones. It seems like if you try to use if I've already have it a transcript that's transcribed and I use the same value here, I get an internal server error. So I had to make a fresh audio file, like I made a bunch, and I cycled through them to test this. So my answer is I tried more than one, but I can't guarantee that it's correct. There's another thing I don't understand. The problem with these things is one question leads to another. In the tutorial, the guy, when he did it, he didn't use an actual value. He put in like test, whatever, test 1, 2, 3. He didn't need an actual number. And I don't understand why that would work, because if you've already sent the job name to it, and here it is, the variable's been defined in AWS, then when Bubble's talking to it, doesn't it need to send it a definition of a variable that it recognizes? And for all APIs, like why would test 1, 2, 3 work for any API? I just don't get how variables are handled.
Well, he set the name, right? When he did start job, he set the job name as test 1, 2, 3. And then when he got the job name when test 1, 2, 3, because he was the one that set it.
It looked like he was changing it in the API and it wasn't an actual name. Like it could have just been any old thing.
It likely could have been any old thing. Yeah.
It seemed that.
If you go to start job, what do you have in the start job? This is the one that's not working, right? This is the test page sandbox.
Yeah, this is the one. And start is working.
Okay, so can you reinitialize that call for start?
It was working at 5 a.m. this morning. Okay.
Yeah. The other question is, okay, you know what? Change your job name to test 1, 2, 3. You're gonna have to refresh the page. Yeah.
There's
Okay.
an internal server error because it's already been. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And that worked in progress.
Okay. So then grab. Yeah. Do test 1, 2, 3 for the job name of this one, and then reinitialize. Okay.
So
Key
it's
error.
but okay, it's the same error.
Okay. What's a key error? I think it's just the wrong name of the key.
So when we talk about the key, that's the pair, right? The variable and the definition, the value, and isn't the key the value and the.
Yeah. The key, it means the key does not exist. So the key job name does not exist.
So the job doesn't exist, which makes sense because we just made it up.
No. That's not the, it's the key itself doesn't exist. So event.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's saying job name job underscore name. Okay. You know what? Hit cancel and then reinitialize one more time. Okay. So it's not a time thing. Did you ever figure out like how long it takes?
It takes about 30 seconds maybe, but it's not consistent.
It's not consistent. Okay. So if we manually enter the API response on this one.
Sorry. There we go.
Okay. So we're getting a key error on query string parameters. Query string parameters. Okay, go back to your actual page there. Sorry, your test get the first tab on that window.
Oh, right. That went first tab on that window.
The first tab. First tab.
Oh, the first tab, yeah.
Yeah.
Just exactly what you said.
Yeah.
That first tab.
Yes. And then Windows key left, and then it'll push it back to where you need it. Okay. Is there a way for you to remove that side menu just so I can see better?
I haven't found one.
Is that no? What about the scroll on above? There's a scroll above the numbers. That little scroll
above the numbers.
Yeah, you see the numbers. Yeah, does that work? Close pane or close pane, or is that going to close this pane?
Oh, I think that's only for like when you have a bunch of files here.
So click view then. and then do menu bar. Oh, dang it. No, undo that. It's not that one. Yeah. click the little arrow again. Yeah. Oh. So view, what is it called?
Oh.
Not the menu bar, the view. Ooh, gutter. No, gutter. Tab buttons. Gutter. I don't know. Try one.
Wrong one. Sorry. Where's that? There it is. Now,
No.
helps a little.
Yeah, it's try tab buttons. That's so annoying. There should be one that says folders. No. So annoying. Okay. Let's just ignore that then. Okay. So go back to that Lambda function, the first one.
This.
Sorry, you have two tabs open. Yeah. Close that one. Okay. So it's saying that line 12 query string parameters does not exist, basically. It's saying query string parameters does not exist on event. So what is event coming from? Where is event coming from?
I don't know. It must be, is it
At
a
the top there.
library? I mean, it's got to be from one of these.
Lambda handler event, and then it's defining job name equals, and it's doing the same on the other side, right?
Yes.
Okay, job name event BT. These are exactly the same. I think it has to do with like, test underscore get lambda function pi. Oh man, this is a tricky one. Hey Tonya, do you have any suggestions on this one? Anybody else have any suggestions on this one? Why this?
You were swimming in the ocean by yourself.
Oh man.
I wish I could help, but I'm like, this is amazing that people do this. Yeah.
Can you just take Control A on the right one? On the right one, sorry.
Oh, my other right.
The one you were on, yeah. And then no, I'm sorry, not there. Control A within there, yeah. And then copy. Control C, and then just replace everything on the left. So we can just, yeah. And I think you have to save it.
I do. You're right.
File, save.
It's that.
Deploy. Okay. Jay, this is a tough one. I don't know.
Well, I don't really need it solved. It was a learning, like we're learning how to start troubleshooting these. So don't feel like you're letting me down, because you're totally not. I've just learned stuff. That was my purpose in asking this question. But it's
I'm just
weird,
confused.
right?
Yeah, I'm confused here on the URL. I'm really confused on the URL.
On this?
Yeah, because test, is that the same? Oh, can you scroll up a little bit?
Yeah.
Sorry, go back on the bubble. Yeah, back on the bubble for a second. I think it's the same URL. Can you scroll up? Yeah, scroll up to the other one. The one that was working. Yeah, this one. It is the same. So
yeah.
Test start job. This test get job. The event is not getting launched through it. Okay, yeah, sorry. I don't know.
Okay. All right, I learned stuff about troubleshooting, which was my intention in asking. So I appreciate your help.
Okay, and now it's going to bug me to the end of time. So
yeah, but it's my gift to you. My gift to you is 3 gray hairs, some wrinkles.
Awesome.
There must have been some setup at the beginning that you didn't do with the test one that you did with the other one. There has to be it.
It has got to be. I went through it several times again. I've been through it a lot because I really want to understand this, because there's so much power in AWS. I want to feel comfortable. I want to be able to make webhooks, and because this app originally the idea was to use Twilio to capture voicemails and then send those voicemails elsewhere to get transcribed, which now we can do. Yay. And then do other stuff with it. But Amazon has something called Amazon Connect, and it also can capture voicemails. Well, it seems to me that it's probably better to keep it in the platform. I mean, there's an upside and a downside. I'm kind of against getting all your eggs in one basket. And Twilio has awesome documentation, and it's just a, it's just a good company.
Mhm.
But having it all on one platform might be better, because if I have all the stuff connected now pretty easily in AWS, then when I have a new idea for a new product line in the business or something, it might be pretty easy by then to spin something up
Mhm.
without having to learn a whole new set of documentation or have any friction. So I'm kind of inclined to stick with AWS and try to learn it better.
I mean, yeah, AWS, the things you can do that are pretty powerful. I mean,
Yeah.
it's going to be very scalable for a lot of different things. So it's a good way to start. It's just hard to get started. And that's why when you're one of the few people who's kind of like jumping into that end. But I'm glad you taught me a lot actually about AWS. So I'm happy
I'm
about
a
that.
guinea pig. I'll be teaching you about AWS Connect next.
Yeah.
I've got
I mean,
some other things I'm going to do with it.
dude, you're going to be one of the pro no coders giving API tips
Yep.
for people
God,
setting up AWS.
I would
Yeah.
be thrilled for that to happen. I wish I could find a place like this, even if not in real time like we do office hours, but just whenever I've looked for forums for AWS, and it's really, it's a foreign language. It's because they write code.
Yeah.
Now I don't do code. So when they also seem to know a lot about like the different environments, like the compute environments and the serverless stuff. There's like 3 of them. So they're talking about Elastic and EC2 and Lambda and Lambda. And I'm like, wait a minute, what is the difference? Where do I even start?
Exactly.
They say
Where do
one
you
bite
even
at a
start?
time, but you got to, taking a bite out of the side of the elephant's a lot harder than taking a bite off the end of his tail.
Yeah, totally.
You got to know which end.
Exactly. Oh my. All right. Well,
All right.
thank you, Jay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thomas or Jordan, do you have any more questions?
I'm good. Appreciate it though.
Awesome. Jordan?
I was just setting up that filter, and it does come up with a number. I just wanted to check whether, like, when you've got it selected, it comes up with a number, which is 1. Should that number be how many different things you've got selected? Because if I do change it and make it 2 filters, it still says 1.
This is kind of tricky. So let's have a look, jump in there. That's actually a good question. Because once they've changed it, I wasn't sure how they set it up. I'm going to pull up the Canvas documentation because it should
Okay.
also mention it in there. Canvas.airdev. Okay. And then go ahead and start. Go into there, go into the filter where within the actual, right there, edit element. Do you know off the top of your head there, Tonya, before I jump in?
No.
No? Okay. Try the, so we've got the icon. There's the icon. There's a drop down. Why is it hidden? I just find that so strange that they would hide that.
They would have, why would you hide it
Okay.
out of the gate and then?
Oh, they're doing a manual count. That's how they're doing it. Yeah. Yeah. So then you have to, for how many ever filters you have, you have to add them in manually.
Is there a better way?
Yeah. Oh man.
Can we count the stake?
It'd be easier.
Count the stakes, or?
Yeah, it'd be easier instead of doing this really confusing thing. So I'm pretty sure we can do it this way. So where where it says filter, sorry, go back to where you were before. The one that shows it. Yeah. Okay. So go to appearance for a second.
Appearance, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You know what? Let's keep it like that. So back to the conditional. Ignore what I just said. Yeah. And then on filters 1, change the 1 to a dynamic data. Go ahead, insert dynamic data. So do this. what is it called? It's called filter application. So yeah, you know, I think this would be a way to do it. Filter application. Empty, or sorry, not empty. Drop down advisor. Let's start with the first one. Drop down advisor. Is not empty. So that means if it is, and then you're going to change is not empty, and then do, this is going to be a quick one. Yeah, do more, do format it as a number. Okay, and then keep it as 1 and 0, and then do more, do plus. Just like that. Yeah, and then you add them up one at a time. If it's not filtered, then you don't. That way you don't have to set up a million conditions for like, if this one is, but that one isn't, and that one is. Yeah. Filter applications. Yeah, drop down loan writer is not empty. Formatted as a number. And then more, plus, and then you just go through. I think you have 4 of them that are working.
Yeah.
So you just do that. And then you would change the condition when.
Or should I just make it like, what could I put there just to show that there's a filter on, rather than count them? It doesn't. I don't need to count them, do I?
You just want to show that there's a condition on.
Yeah. Do you reckon? But I guess it's the same thing, eh? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're halfway through to this, finishing this one. So.
Filter applications. Empty. Formatted as a number, plus filter applications. Source is not empty. Formatted as a number. And then delete these ones.
Oh, don't do not that last one. Undo that last one. That last one is when it's visible. It's changing the
Okay.
color. Yeah, just that one. Yeah, and then you can right click. Hold on, you got to change the condition because the condition is only looking for the first 2. So right click that big long one that you just did and copy it, and then paste it in.
And here.
No, top one. When the top paste. Yeah, right there. Paste that. Yeah. And then you're going to do more. Click more on it, and then do greater than 0.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So when there's a filter, then show how many filters. That should fix it. That should be built in. I think we should send this clip to AirDev and have them fix that.
Maybe Eli's watching.
Eli, can you see us? Eli.
Sweet. That's pretty cool, eh?
Yeah. Looks like it works. And it's quick. Yay. Okay.
So I didn't know that empty constraint things. So now that you tell me, so do I not need a conditional for this one either? I could put that in the same.
Correct. That is correct. You only really need an extra condition if it's a yes or no, because yes and no can never be empty. Yes and no has to be no or yes, or if it's empty, it'll think it's no. So only on yes or no fields do you have to have an extra condition.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Super useful. Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Awesome. Okay.
All right. Well, if there are no other questions, I wanted to touch back on something that we covered. I was trying to cover last night, and I just was trying to remember what I had done in the past, and that never works out. I should just bubble in the moment.
Bubble in the moment.
Bubble in the moment. Let me see, which one was it? I should have gotten this all ready to go. Sorry, guys. what was it? It was last night we were doing date ranges. Date. There we go. So this was Brittany's question last night. What she wanted to do was she wanted to show, well, basically what I have working now. So as she was creating a work order, she wanted to put in the date range, like that, the payment date range. So showing basically when you would get paid. So she's going to pay out her users on every Friday. And what she wanted to do was show, okay, so you'll get paid this much money for this pay date range. And so what I did is, this is just obviously an example here. So like, how do you do this? Okay, if it's the 13th, if the current date and time is October 13th, what's that date range? Well, it'll be October 8th to October 15th, and the person will get paid out on October 15th. And then if we're talking about, well, what if it's the 15th, which is a Friday, we're not going to pay out on the same day. And so you do this and it says, okay, October, yeah, so you'd get paid. So this is the start of the date. So if you do 10/15, you'll get paid on 10/22. So I don't know why it was so tricky for me in the moment, but essentially just figuring out how to get to last Friday and to the next Friday to get that range. So it's just, in her case, it would be current date and time rounded down to the week, which would put you at 0 for Sunday, and subtract 2 to get the Friday before. And then the same thing, but +5 to get the Friday after. Yeah. And then this is only if the current day is less than 5, right? So if it's before Friday, and then for Friday and Saturday, when it's greater than or equal to 5, then you would just add a week to each of those numbers.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't know they had rounded down to a week. That was one I never used before, but yeah, that's good.
Yep. Awesome. So we got it figured out, and now you know how to do it too. And maybe Kim, if you're watching, which you should be watching, you can go ahead. You can go ahead and cross-reference the 2 office hours so that people can follow along. Very good. Well, we'll go ahead and wrap up this office hours session. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. We're going to be back here on Monday. Pablo will be here before I will be here. Pablo will be here at 11 a.m. CET on Monday for office hours episode number 145. We will see you then. If not then, maybe you'll come to Monday at 10 a.m. Pacific time, and I'll be here for episode 146. Thank you, everyone, for being here, and see you then.
See ya.